Hi and welcome to Cheeky Richo's How to Make Almond Milk and Almond Flour. I've showed you a myriad of different nut milks and grain milks, and today I'm going to show you how to make almond milk. The ingredients are in the recipe box below. This is going to take a little time because you actually have to soak the almonds for 12 hours or overnight, whatever. So we just get our raw almonds, tip them into some filtered water with some salt. Pop the lid on, into the fridge for 12 hours or overnight. Okay, after 12 hours our nuts have soaked and they've got themselves quite cloudy in there. We're just going to strain this water off. Just use the strainer that comes with the thermo. As you notice, it's stainless steel, so it's really quite hygienic and very easy to clean. And we're just going to tip our water and our nuts through there, dispose of that water with the salt, give them a quick rinse and pop them back into the thermo. So our nuts go into the thermo now. You can hear they're quite soft because they're well and truly soaked. And we're going to put in some filtered water. This will make about 2 litres, but we're only going to put 1 litre in to start with. Blitz it all up and then dilute it. Okay, after 2 minutes on speed 8, this is what you should have. It's really quite creamy and milky now. You can see some really fine grains of the nuts there. We're just going to add the balance of our water. The reason I don't put all the water in at once is because it actually foams up a little bit and you don't want it to bubble over the top. So now we're going to put in our other litre of water and blitz it until it's a really, really fine paste. In we go. Okay, after the initial blitzing on speed 8 for 2 minutes, we add the remainder of our water. And this is what you should have. This is a nut bag. They're really quite cheap to buy. They're really, really fine mesh. The stitching goes on the outside so it doesn't foul up with the nuts. And we're just going to line our jug with it and just gently pour it in. It'll obviously fill this jug more than once, but this is for demonstration purposes. Just pour our nut milk in, as you can see. It's really quite liquid. And as we lift it up, the milk will remain behind and the nuts will be caught in the bag along with the foam that's made. Now don't discard this pulp because this pulp is going to be used tomorrow to make almond flour, which is really quite expensive to buy, and it's actually a byproduct of what we're making tonight. And there you have it, creamy, rich, dairy and gluten-free Cheeky Richo almond milk. Have a little taste, shall we? It's very good for you. It's perfect if you're lactose intolerant, and as you can see, incredibly easy to do. Thanks for watching. And now we just get the almond meal and just pop it out onto a tray. We're going to put it into the refrigerator. You can see it's really, really, really fine. And then we're going to dry it out. You can either use a dehydrator or you can dry it in your oven. So we'll just leave that uncrumbled to dry out. And you can see how incredibly fine that is. And that is going to be our homemade almond flour. Okay, it's time to make our almond flour out of our almond meal now. We've just had that in the fridge overnight. We've just got some baking paper in the bottom of a baking tray, and we're just going to spread this out in a single layer. The reason being is we want it to be exposed to as much of the fan in the oven as possible, and we're going to have it as low as we can get our oven. If you can just do it on the fan, that would be perfect. Other than that, you need to have it on a very, very low fan, otherwise it will burn. So we're just going to do this until it's really quite crispy and dry, depending on the moisture content in your almonds and depending on how low you can get your oven to turn down. With the oven we go. Every 20 minutes or so, just take it out, squash all the little lumps out of it, which they're not actually lumps of nuts, they're just lumps of little clumps of nuts where I've had to squeeze it to get all of the moisture out of it. And just turn it over, open the oven while you're doing that, and that'll get rid of any moisture that's sort of trapped in the oven. And you can see it's really starting to dry out already. Okay, after 2.5 hours in the oven, let's see if you can hear this. I'll lift it up for you. It's really quite dry. And now we're just going to blitz up those little clump together. They actually squash out. And we're just going to blitz this to a fine flour. Pick up your paper, put it in the jug, and just empty it out. Now this isn't going to take very long, and we're going to be making some gluten-free recipes with it. Lid on, and after 15 seconds on turbo, this is what you should have. It's really, really fine now. You can catch that bowl. Just shake it out. It's just like an almond meal. Completely dry and quite economical. Cheeky Richo's almond flour. Thanks for watching.